If you're over 60 and you feel a sharp, shooting, electric-like pain running from your lower back, down into your hip, thigh, calf, or even all the way into your foot, I want you to listen very carefully right now, because what I'm about to tell you may completely change how you think about sciatic nerve pain. Most people believe this kind of pain is just old age, or that once it starts, it's something you simply have to live with forever. Others are told that surgery, injections, or powerful painkillers are the only answers. But here's the shocking truth most people never hear. In many older adults, this pain is being fueled every single day by something they are eating or not eating. And in some cases, changing one key food can begin calming the nerve much faster than you'd expect. I've seen people who could barely stand up from a chair who were waking up at night with burning leg pain start to feel noticeable relief within a couple of days simply by supporting their nerve the right way. So if your legs feel like they're on fire, if walking has become painful, or if sitting too long sends a jolt down your leg, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's happening inside your body and what you can start doing today to help your sciatic nerve recover instead of getting worse. Now, let's clear up something important right away. Sciatic nerve pain is not just a back problem. That misunderstanding alone keeps millions of people stuck in pain. The sciatic nerve is the largest and longest nerve in your entire body. It starts in the lower spine, travels through the hips and buttocks, runs down the back of each leg, and branches all the way into the feet. When this nerve becomes irritated, inflamed, compressed, or poorly nourished, it can send pain signals anywhere along that path. That's why some people feel it mostly in the lower back, while others feel it deep in the hip, behind the knee, or even as tingling and numbness in the toes. After 60, the nerve becomes far more vulnerable, not just because of posture or discs, but because of changes in circulation, inflammation levels, muscle loss, and nutritional deficiencies that quietly build up over time. One of the biggest mistakes people make is chasing the pain instead of addressing the cause. They rub the calf, stretch the hamstring, massage the hip, or ice the lower back, but the real problem continues underneath. Think of the sciatic nerve like an electrical cable. If the insulation around that cable is damaged or inflamed, the signal becomes distorted and painful. What most people don't realize is that nerves are living tissue, and living tissue needs specific nutrients to function properly. Without them, the nerve becomes irritated, swollen, and hypersensitive. This is where food comes in, and this is why some people experience real relief when they change what they eat. As we get older, our bodies don't absorb nutrients as efficiently as they once did. Stomach acid tends to decrease, digestion slows, and chronic inflammation increases. This creates a perfect storm for nerve irritation. On top of that, many common medications taken after 60, such as acid blockers, diabetes medications, and certain blood pressure drugs, can interfere with nutrient absorption that nerves depend on. So even if you're eating what you think is a decent diet, your sciatic nerve may still be starving for the very things it needs to calm down and heal. Let's talk for a moment about why sciatic pain often feels worse at night or early in the morning. This isn't random. When you lie down, circulation patterns change, muscles relax, and inflammation that built up during the day can put more pressure on the nerve. If the nerve tissue is already inflamed or poorly supported nutritionally, those nighttime changes can amplify pain signals. That's why so many people over 60 say, "I can get through the day. But once I sit too long or lie down, the pain shoots down my leg." This is also why what you eat in the evening can make a surprising difference in how you feel the next day. Now here's something most doctors don't explain clearly. Inflammation around the sciatic nerve is not always caused by a single injury. Very often, it's a slow, chronic process driven by blood sugar spikes, oxidative stress, poor circulation, and deficiencies in specific nerve-supporting nutrients. Over time, this creates a nerve that is constantly on edge. Even small movements, like bending slightly or turning in bed, can trigger sharp pain. When people are told it's just degeneration, they feel hopeless. But degeneration does not mean there's nothing you can do. It means you have to work smarter and support the body in the ways it now requires. One of the most powerful ways to calm an irritated nerve is to reduce internal inflammation while simultaneously feeding the nerve what it needs to repair its protective coating. This protective coating, called the myelin sheath, acts like insulation on a wire. When it's healthy, nerve signals travel smoothly and pain-free. When it's damaged or weakened, signals leak, misfire, and cause pain, tingling, and numbness. Certain foods play a direct role in maintaining and repairing this sheath. When those foods are missing, the nerve becomes vulnerable. This is where the idea of just eat this comes from, but it's important to understand it correctly. It's not magic, and it's not a replacement for medical care. When that's needed, what it is targeted nutritional support that can begin calming the nerve environment quickly. Some people notice changes within 48 hours, not because the nerve has magically healed, but because inflammation starts to drop, blood flow improves, and the nerve is no longer being constantly irritated. Think of it like removing fuel from a fire. The flames don't disappear instantly, but they begin to die down. One of the most overlooked contributors to sciatic pain after 60 is unstable blood sugar. Even people who are not diabetic can experience blood sugar swings that inflame nerves. When blood sugar spikes, it triggers inflammatory chemicals that make nerves more sensitive to pain. This is one reason why highly processed carbohydrates and sugary foods often make leg pain worse, sometimes within hours. Many people never make the connection between what they ate and how their legs feel later that night or the next morning. Once you understand this connection, you can start using food strategically instead of accidentally working against your own body. Another factor is circulation. Nerves rely on a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered through tiny blood vessels. With age, circulation to the lower body often decreases, especially if you sit a lot or have conditions like high blood pressure or cholesterol issues. Poor circulation means waste products build up around the nerve, increasing irritation. Certain foods can gently improve blood flow, helping wash away inflammatory byproducts and deliver what the nerve needs to calm down. Now let's talk about the specific type of food that has helped many people with sciatic nerve pain begin feeling relief surprisingly fast. This food is rich in compounds that directly support nerve function, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation at the same time. It's not exotic, it's not expensive, and it's often overlooked or misunderstood. When eaten the right way, especially by adults over 60, it can create an environment in the body where the sciatic nerve is finally able to relax. Instead of constantly sending pain signals, but before I tell you exactly what that food is and how to use it correctly, I want to make sure you understand why simply popping pain pills or relying only on stretches often fails. Painkillers may dull the signal temporarily, but they don't address nerve health. In fact, some can interfere with healing by affecting blood flow or digestion. Stretching can be helpful, but if the nerve is inflamed and undernourished, aggressive stretching can sometimes make things worse. That's why so many people say, "I tried everything and nothing worked." They were missing a critical piece of the puzzle. In the next part of this video, I'm going to explain exactly how this specific food works inside your body, why it's especially powerful after 60, and how to use it in a way that supports your sciatic nerve instead of irritating it. I'll also explain what to avoid at the same time, because even the best food won't help if it's constantly being canceled out by something else in your diet. Make sure you stay with me, because this is where most people finally start connecting the dots and understanding why their pain has lingered for so long. Now, let's go deeper into the food itself and why it matters so much for sciatic nerve pain after 60. One of the reasons people struggle for years with shooting leg pain is because they are unknowingly deficient in the very nutrients that keep nerves calm, insulated, and resilient. As the body ages, the ability to extract and utilize these nutrients drops, even when food intake seems normal. This creates a slow, silent weakening of nerve tissue. The food I'm referring to is fatty fish, particularly wild-caught salmon, sardines, and mackerel, because these are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, in a form that the aging body can actually use. Omega-3 South are not just heart-healthy fats. They are critical structural components of nerve cell membranes and play a direct role in reducing nerve inflammation. When the sciatic nerve is irritated, inflammatory chemicals surround it, increasing pressure and sensitivity. Omega-3 fatty acids help shift the body away from producing inflammatory compounds and toward producing calming, protective ones. This doesn't happen overnight in terms of full healing, but inflammation levels can begin to drop quickly, which is why some people feel noticeable relief within 48 hours. The nerve is no longer being bathed in the same inflammatory environment, so pain signals begin to quiet down. This is especially powerful when omega-3 intake replaces foods that promote inflammation, rather than simply being added on top of a poor diet. Another key reason this food works so well has to do with circulation. Omega-3 South improve the flexibility of blood vessels, allowing better blood flow to the lower back, hips, and legs. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching the nerve and better removal of waste products that irritate it. Many people over 60 have some degree of vascular stiffness without realizing it. They feel it not as chest pain, but as leg pain, numbness, heaviness, or burning sensations. Supporting circulation is one of the fastest ways to change how the nerve feels. But there's more. Fatty fish is also rich in vitamin B12, a nutrient that is absolutely essential for nerve health and one of the most common deficiencies in older adults. Vitamin B12 is required to maintain the myelin sheath that insulates nerves. Without enough B12, the sheath becomes thin and fragile, allowing pain signals to fire more easily. This deficiency can exist even if blood tests appear borderline normal, especially if stomach acid is low or if you take medications that interfere with absorption. When B12 intake improves, nerve conduction becomes more stable, and sensations like shooting pain, tingling, and numbness can begin to ease. Now let's talk about how to eat this food in a way that actually helps, because preparation matters. Frying fish in refined vegetable oils destroys many of the beneficial fats and introduces inflammatory compounds that work against nerve healing. Heavily breaded or processed fish products do very little for nerve health. The goal is gentle cooking. Methods like baking, steaming, or light pan searing with stable fats. Even 2 to 3 servings per week can make a meaningful difference, especially when combined with reducing foods that spike inflammation. Timing also matters more than people realize. Eating this kind of nutrient-dense food earlier in the day or at dinner rather than late at night helps regulate blood sugar and supports overnight repair processes. Many people notice that when they eat inflammatory foods at night, their sciatic pain is worse in the morning. When they shift to foods that support nerve repair, mornings become less painful and stiffness eases faster. It's also important to understand what sabotages nerve healing, because many well-meaning habits actually make sciatic pain worse. What? Of the biggest culprits is excess sugar, even in forms people consider healthy. Large amounts of fruit juice, sweetened yogurt, pastries, white bread, and sugary snacks can cause rapid blood sugar spikes. These spikes trigger inflammatory pathways that sensitize nerves. The sciatic nerve is particularly vulnerable because of its size and length. This is why some people feel pain flare-ups after eating sweets or refined carbohydrates. They blame posture or activity, but the real trigger was metabolic. Another issue is dehydration. Nerves require adequate hydration to function properly. Even mild dehydration can increase nerve sensitivity and muscle tension, which puts additional pressure on the sciatic nerve. Many adults over 60 don't feel thirst as strongly as they once did, leading to chronic low-level dehydration. Drink water consistently throughout the day, rather than all at once. Helps maintain nerve conductivity and reduces irritation. Let's also address protein intake. Nerves are made of protein structures, and repair requires amino acids. Some older adults unintentionally eat too little protein, especially if appetite has decreased. This slows healing and weakens muscles that support the spine and hips, increasing pressure on the sciatic nerve. Fatty fish conveniently provides both high-quality protein and nerve-supporting fats, making it uniquely effective. Now, I want to talk about expectations, because this is where people often get discouraged. Feeling some relief within 48 hours does not mean the nerve is fully healed. It means the environment around the nerve is improving. Inflammation is decreasing, circulation is improving, and the nerve is less irritated. Continued improvement depends on consistency. People who experience lasting relief are the ones who keep supporting their nerve daily, not just for a couple of days and then returning to old habits. Movement also plays a role, but it must be the right kind. Gentle walking, light stretching, and avoiding prolonged sitting help maintain circulation and prevent stiffness. However, pushing through sharp pain or forcing aggressive stretches can aggravate the nerve. The goal is to create conditions that allow the nerve to calm down, not to challenge it while it's already irritated. Another important factor is body weight distribution. Extra weight around the abdomen shifts posture and increases pressure on the lower spine, which can compress the sciatic nerve. Supporting metabolic health through proper nutrition helps gradually reduce this pressure. This is not about rapid weight loss, but about reducing inflammatory load and improving alignment over time. Sleep quality is also deeply connected to nerve pain. Poor sleep increases pain sensitivity and inflammation. Supporting the body with calming nutrients, stable blood sugar, and proper hydration improves sleep, which in turn helps the nerve recover. Many people notice that once their sleep improves, their sciatic pain becomes more manageable even during the day. As we continue, I want you to keep this mindset. You are not broken, and this pain is not inevitable. Your body still has the capacity to heal, but it needs the right support. Sciatic nerve pain after 60 is often a signal that something is missing or out of balance. Not that it's too late to improve. In the next part, I'll explain how to combine this key food with other simple, practical adjustments that amplify its effects, what warning signs to watch for, and how to tell if your sciatic nerve is responding positively. This is where everything starts coming together into a clear, doable plan that fits real life. At this point, it's important to understand how to recognize whether your sciatic nerve is actually responding in a positive way. Because improvement doesn't always look the way people expect. Many assume pain relief must be dramatic and sudden, but for nerve healing, the earliest signs are often subtle. You may notice that the sharp, electric jolt becomes duller. or that the pain doesn't travel quite as far down the leg as it used to. Maybe you can sit a little longer before discomfort starts, or you wake up with less stiffness in the morning. These are meaningful signals that inflammation is calming and nerve signaling is stabilizing. When people ignore these early improvements and assume it's not working, they often give up right before real progress begins. One powerful way to amplify the effect of the food we discussed is to reduce what constantly irritates the sciatic nerve. Think of this as removing friction. Even a well-nourished nerve will struggle if it's under constant mechanical and chemical stress. Long periods of sitting, especially on soft couches or chairs without support, compress the lower spine and hips. This compression reduces blood flow and increases pressure on the nerve. Simply standing up every 30 to 45 minutes and gently walking for a few minutes can dramatically improve circulation and reduce nerve irritation. This is especially important after meals, when blood flow shifts toward digestion. Posture plays a bigger role than most people realize. When the pelvis tilts backward, which is common with aging and weak core muscles, it flattens the natural curve of the lower spine and narrows the space where nerves exit. Over time, this increases sciatic nerve sensitivity. You don't need complex exercises to begin correcting this. Even consciously, sitting with your feet flat on the floor, chest lifted slightly, and lower back supported can reduce daily strain on the nerve. Let's also talk about footwear, because it often gets overlooked. Shoes with poor support alter walking mechanics and can subtly aggravate sciatic pain. Thin soles, worn-out shoes, or overly soft footwear allow the foot to collapse inward, which affects knee and hip alignment. This misalignment travels upward, increasing tension along the sciatic nerve pathway. Supportive, well-cushioned shoes help absorb shock and maintain better alignment, reducing stress on the nerve with every step. Stress itself is another major amplifier of nerve pain. Chronic stress increases muscle tension, raises inflammation, and heightens pain perception. Many people notice their sciatic pain worsens during emotionally stressful periods, even if nothing else changes. This is not all in your head. Stress hormones sensitize nerves and reduce the body's ability to repair. Simple breathing exercises, gentle stretching, or even quiet walks can lower stress hormones and indirectly calm nerve pain. Another factor that deserves attention is magnesium. While fatty fish provides key nutrients for nerve health, magnesium supports muscle relaxation and nerve signaling. Low magnesium levels are common after 60 and can lead to muscle tightness around the hips and lower back, increasing pressure on the sciatic nerve. Foods rich in magnesium, such as leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, complement the nerve-supporting effects of omega-3s. When muscles relax, the nerve experiences less compression. It's also important to be aware of warning signs that indicate the need for medical evaluation. If sciatic pain is accompanied by progressive weakness, loss of bowel or bladder control, or severe numbness that doesn't improve, professional assessment is essential. Nutritional support works best alongside proper medical guidance, not instead of it. The goal is to support healing, not to ignore serious symptoms. Consistency remains the key. Nerves heal slowly compared to muscles or skin, but they do heal when conditions are right. People who commit to supporting nerve health daily often experience gradual but meaningful improvements over weeks and months. They walk more comfortably, sleep better, and regain confidence in their movement. This confidence itself reduces protective muscle guarding, further easing nerve pressure. Another helpful practice is gentle heat. Applying warmth to the lower back or hips increases blood flow and relaxes muscles around the nerve. This can be especially soothing in the evening or before bed. Heat works synergistically with the anti-inflammatory effects of proper nutrition, creating a more favorable environment for nerve recovery. Now, let's bring everything together. Shooting leg pain after 60 is rarely caused by just one thing. It's the result of inflammation, reduced circulation, nutritional deficiencies, mechanical stress, and lifestyle factors working together. When you address only one piece, results are limited. When you address multiple factors at once, the body finally gets the message that it's safe to heal. That's why people sometimes feel improvements faster than they expected. It's not a miracle. It's biology responding to support. As you continue this approach, pay attention to how your body responds. Keep a simple mental note of what makes your pain better and what makes it worse. This awareness allows you to make smarter daily choices that protect your nerve. Over time, these choices add up to meaningful relief. You may have been told that nerve pain after 60 is just something you must accept. That belief is outdated and disempowering. While aging brings changes, it does not remove your body's ability to improve. Supporting your sciatic nerve through proper nutrition, movement, hydration, and stress management can dramatically change how you feel and how you move through your day. As we come to the end of this video, remember, The most important points. Sciatic nerve pain is not just a back issue. It's a whole body issue that requires whole body support. Inflammation and poor circulation play major roles in nerve irritation. Certain foods, especially those rich in omega-3 fatty acids and nerve nutrients, can begin calming the nerve environment surprisingly quickly. Small daily habits, when practiced consistently, create the conditions needed for long-term relief. If you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who may be struggling with leg pain right now. Let me know in the comments what topic you'd like me to cover next. And remember, taking care of your nerves today can mean moving more freely and comfortably tomorrow in the next part. I'll explain how to combine this key food with other simple, practical adjustments that amplify its effects. What warning signs to watch for, and how to tell if your sciatic nerve is responding positively. This is where everything starts coming together into a clear, doable plan that fits real life